Remember when chicken actually tasted like chicken? When you could roast a bird on a Sunday and the smell filled the whole house? When the meat had real texture, real flavor, and did not collapse into a puddle of water the moment it hit a hot pan? For many people in the UK, that experience feels like a distant memory, because over the last decade, supermarket chicken has quietly changed. Not in ways most shoppers notice at first, but in ways you definitely taste, smell, and see when you cook it. Today, we are exposing the 8 UK supermarkets selling chicken you should never buy, and revealing the 2 places that are actually worth your money. And chances are, your regular shop is on this list. We're starting with a name built on trust, ethics, and community values: the Co-op. For generations, the Co-op positioned itself as the ethical alternative, a supermarket that cared about more than profit. But their standard chicken breast fillets tell a very different story. These fillets contain added water, not natural moisture from processing, but water deliberately injected to increase weight. That matters because you are paying premium prices for what you believe is quality chicken. But a significant portion of that weight disappears the moment you cook it. Put it in a pan and you will see it instantly. The chicken shrinks, releases cloudy liquid, and turns spongy. Instead of browning, it steams in its own water. One customer summed it up perfectly. They said they paid nearly £6 for 2 breasts. The breasts shrank to half the size when cooked. The customer said they felt robbed. And that is because you were. You are paying chicken prices for water. Coming in at 7 is Sainsbury's. Founded in 1869, Sainsbury's is one of Britain's most trusted supermarket names. But their basic range chicken thighs show just how far cost-cutting has gone. These thighs are pale, fatty, and inconsistent in size. Many packs contain excessive liquid pooling at the bottom, a classic sign of water-injected poultry. Quality control appears minimal. Customers regularly report bone fragments, rubbery skin that never crisps, and meat that cooks grey instead of golden. That white foam you sometimes see while cooking is protein and water being forced out of the meat. Properly handled chicken does not behave like that. Several shoppers mention an off smell even well within the use-by date. Not rotten, but sour and chemical enough to raise doubts. If your chicken makes you hesitate before cooking, that is not value, that is risk. At 6 is Asda Smart Price Chicken. The price is low, suspiciously low. The reason becomes obvious the moment you open the pack. These portions are often described as having the texture of rubber or wet cardboard. The meat is pale, sometimes grey, with an unnatural sheen that suggests heavy processing. Like most ultra-budget chicken, it's loaded with added water. Cook it, and the pan fills with liquid. The meat shrinks, tightens, and loses whatever texture it started with. But what really puts Asda's Smart Price Chicken on this list is inconsistency. One pack might be barely acceptable. The next can be genuinely inedible. One parent shared their experience. They said they bought it for a quick dinner. Their kids took one bite and refused to eat it. Even covered in sauce, they said it tasted wrong. When children won't eat chicken, something is seriously off. At 5, Morrison's Savers. Morrison's built its reputation as the food maker and shopkeeper, a supermarket that once prided itself on quality. But the Savers chicken breast is a shadow of that image. These breasts are thin, watery, and almost flavorless. The texture is the giveaway. Slimy when raw, spongy when cooked, and lacking the firm, fibrous bite real chicken should have. Size inconsistency makes cooking difficult. Thin sections dry out instantly, while thicker parts remain undercooked. Multiple customers report extreme shrinkage. One shopper measured a 200-gram breast that cooked down to barely 130 grams. That's not moisture loss. That's water you paid for evaporating into the air. At number 4 is Lidl. Lidl has worked hard to rebrand itself as the smart shopper's choice. Quality at low prices, but their birchwood chicken fillets reveal the cracks. The packaging looks convincing. Plump, pink chicken behind clear plastic. But once cooked, the illusion collapses. The fillets shrink dramatically, release large amounts of liquid, and turn tough and rubbery. Flavor is almost non-existent. You are forced to drown it in marinades just to make it edible. One shopper described switching to a butcher for the first time in years and realizing they had forgotten what chicken was supposed to taste like. That is the danger of low-quality food becoming normal. At 3 is Tesco, Britain's largest supermarket chain. The most influence, the most customers. And yet, Tesco's everyday value chicken drumsticks are among the most complained about chicken products in the country. They're small, inconsistent, and loaded with excess fat and skin that never renders properly. Broken bones are common, but freshness is the biggest concern. Many customers report opening packs well within the use-by date, only to find slimy meat and a strong smell. That is not just unpleasant, that is unsafe. One mother said she bought them for a birthday party, opened them the night before, and had to throw them away because of the smell. Cheap food is not cheap when it ruins meals and forces last-minute replacements. At number 2, Iceland. Freezing chicken is not inherently bad. Done properly, it can preserve quality. But Iceland's standard frozen chicken breasts are a lesson in how not to do it. These fillets are heavily injected with water before freezing. When defrosted, they release shocking amounts of liquid. When cooked, they shrink dramatically and end up both watery and dry. The texture is stringy and tough. The flavor is almost non-existent. Even seasoned, it tastes like protein rather than meat. Customers describe it as chicken-flavored sponge. And when people say they would not feed it to their pets, that says everything. And now, number 1. The worst chicken you can buy in a UK supermarket. Aldi. Aldi's chicken thighs consistently rank among the highest for water-to-meat ratio. They're pale, fatty, uneven in size, and they often smell unpleasant, even while still within the use-by date. But what earns Aldi the top spot is consistency. This is not a bad batch problem, it is a pattern. Repeated complaints, repeated shrinkage, repeated disappointment. Families describe switching to butchers and realizing they had been eating waterlogged meat for years. Aldi built its empire on low prices, but when it comes to chicken, low prices come at a cost. So those are the 8 supermarkets selling chicken you should avoid. But this is not just about what is bad, it is about what still works. First, Waitrose. Yes, it's expensive, and yes, it has a reputation. But their higher-end and organic ranges actually resemble real chicken. The meat has a firm texture and minimal water loss. The skin crisps properly and the flavor is there without a sauce. You pay more, but you get what you're paying for. And finally, the best option of all. Your local butcher. No injected water, no brine solutions, no shrinkage. Butcher chicken costs more per kilogram, but it does not disappear in the pan. One bird can make multiple meals, and it tastes like chicken should. The British public deserves better than watery imitations sold as bargains. And every time you choose quality over illusion, you vote with your wallet. Chicken used to be simple, honest, delicious, and it can be again if we demand it.